Kylian Mbappé.
Mbappé! Oh, wow! 97 seconds between Mbappe's penalty and his ferocious volley.
Ousmane Dembélé.
Dembélé encarando, Dembélé se lanza, Dembélé quiere el primero, Dembélé. Bueno.
Michael Olise.
That's a cracking goal from Olise! Michael Olise! What a way to start the season!
Hugo Ekitike.
The strike is in! And Hugo Ekitike is the man on a mission.
Oh, and your fullbacks are tired? Here's Cherki.
Cherki! That's tremendous! And of all the brilliance tonight, Ryan Cherki's goal is right at the top of the list. On his French debut, they don't come much better than that.
Doué.
The shot, oh, it's turned in. France leads. Doué's efforts took a huge deflection.
And Barcola.
Barcola, so fucking goal. Barcola,
I mean, I don't even know if this attack is legal.
Don't make a mistake. Don't lose the ball in the middle of the park against France. You're going to be punished.
It's just evolved, this conveyor belt of players that have come through in France that are now playing either in France or around the rest of the world is quite incredible.
France's B team is better than most national teams' best team.
Well, the fact that the second side, as you call it, is one of the best in the world.
This is a squad that I would only be able to make an ultimate team, yet France are bringing it to the biggest stage in world football. Now the team is actually a lot more balanced than you think, because behind these guys in the midfield, you have Aurélien Tchouameni. Now I know a lot of Real Madrid fans have been critical about this guy. They feel like he hasn't developed over the years, but I think when he's in a setup with proper instructions and a proper role, he's still a fantastic holding midfielder. The problem is at Real Madrid, they ask him to do too much. They are basically asking him to do two different roles at the same time. They want him to disrupt play, win duels, protect the back line like a condom, but also play the line-breaking passes that Toni Kroos used to make. Well, on the France national team, he doesn't have to do all of that. His job is to win the ball back and get it to anybody in that front four. And in terms of winning duels, breaking up play, Tchouameni is still a fantastic player.
Tchouameni, who I thought was running around all over the place today and covered a whole lot of ground.
And of course, don't forget, he's always capable of scoring a banger.
Sí, de verdad sí. So es lo de Tony.
Then next to him, Rabiot is pretty good too. I actually think he's a very good midfielder that gets underrated because people don't like him, and the only time he seems to make headlines is because his mother is his agent. Every transfer window, this guy's linked to someone. I mean, I remember how many times I thought Manchester United were going to sign him. But other than that, he's a pretty good midfielder. And again, remember, in international football where you can't really customize your team, these guys are the highest quality. I mean, besides Spain and Portugal and maybe Brazil with Bruno Guimaraes, how many countries really have a better midfield than France? And then of course, they still have N'Golo Kante. I do not care that it's the year 2026. Whenever this guy's on the pitch, I will be cheering for him and I will be excited.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
And as we saw in the friendlies, he still got it. Actually, we even saw it during the 2024 Euros. N'Golo Kante is still one of the best midfielders out there. The way he covers ground, his unlimited work rate. Yes, he's older now, so he's not going to be as fresh every 3 days. Deschamps might have to rotate him with other midfielders. But Kante, if Deschamps can keep him fresh, play him in the big moments, rotate him with the likes of Camavinga, Kone, Rabiot, he's still going to put in a shift. Because even now when he's playing in Fenerbahce, there are still very few midfielders that can cover ground and carry the ball like N'Golo. And of course, there's still Camavinga that I mentioned earlier. His spider legs are going to be so important to this team. Breaking up play, really shining in that double pivot system that Deschamps likes to run. And there's Manu Kone as well. And of course, Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery is going to give you a little bit more quality. He's a different profile. You can bring him in a game where you need a goal and you're looking for goals from your midfield. Zaire Emery can do that. He can create, he can score. Then behind those guys, the back line is pretty good too. Maignan is fantastic in goal. I think because of Onana, black goalies just get underappreciated. This guy has been fantastic for Milan. In fact, I feel like Chelsea should have gone him instead of wasting £1 billion and still having to rely on Jorgensen and Sanchez. He's a very good goalkeeper. I mean, is he as good as prime Hugo Lloris? Probably not, but he's a very reliable guy in between the sticks. And then the back line in front of him, it's pretty good. I mean, in the center back position, they've got Saliba, who's been arguably the best center back in the world. I mean, there's a reason that Arsenal win games, and it's because of their back line, and both Saliba and Gabriel have been very elite, but Saliba in particular, he's very good on the ball, composed, excellent at winning the ball back.
Can he become the best center back in the world?
And then you have Upamecano, who's been equally good for his respective club.
And before the game, I said Erling in the 65-70 minutes, Upamecano will sleep.
I mean, ever since Vincent Kompany came in, Upamecano's had less bozo moments. He's been very good playing next to Ta, and you hope that he's going to bring that same good form into the summer for the World Cup. And then if one of those guys gets suspended or injured, you also have Ibrahim Konate. Now, Konate has been very inconsistent this season with Liverpool, but again, when it comes to international tournaments, you just need the center back to be on form on the day. And on his day, Konate is a very good center back. Physical, bullies attackers, good from set pieces. And as we saw in the friendlies, even if he doesn't work out, Lacroix is very good too. It's funny, every time I see Lacroix, I remember TikTok during 2020 when he was going viral because he looked like some TikToker. But France have a lot of very good center backs. So like I said, if injuries come up, if somebody gets suspended because maybe Upamecano has a bozo moment, they have good players that they can plug in there. And then in the fullback position, they have a lot of great players. I still think Theo Hernandez is a good left back. Yes, he's not as good as he used to be in his prime Milan days, but again, in international football, he's going to be one of the better left backs out there. He can still bomb forward, he can still create opportunities. And then at right back, I mean, they can use Gusto, who I still think is a good player. You know, the modern day fullback, good on the ball, maybe not the most defensively solid guy, but he can make things happen. Deschamps also tried Kalulu there, who's a good player. And of course, there's always Jules Koundé. Koundé's form has been a bit up and down for Barca this season, but he's the most defensively solid right back they got because again, at the end of the day, no matter how comfortable he gets there, he's still a center back, so he's a great option to have there too. Now maybe some people are not excited because they feel that Deschamps, even with all of this talent available to him, still plays very haram, negative football, that he doesn't get the best out of the players that he has. But I think that's very unfair to Didier Deschamps because international football has never been about looking pretty. Managers simply don't have enough time for the players to instill like a very unique or fantastic looking system. This is the same reason why Hansi Flick struggled with the German national team, but he's been killing it at Barcelona. Why Luis Enrique's PSG looks significantly better than what he was able to achieve with the Spain national team. In international football, you just don't have the time to instill a specific system. So you have to judge managers based on their results, and Deschamps has done very well with the French national team since Euro 2016. He's done especially well at the World Cup. I mean, he almost won the World Cup back-to-back, which has only been done twice before by Italy and Brazil, and the last time it was done, it was like 60 years ago. Now, some people will say that, oh, you know, he was bailed out by individual brilliance. Which manager hasn't been? Especially, again, in international football. So I think he's done an excellent job in getting the team to win the 2018 World Cup and then to make it back to the final in 2022. Yes, his style is more pragmatic, but I think that actually fits with the players that he has because all he has to do is set them up in a way that they don't concede, and then somebody in that attacking front four is going to make magic happen. They're going to create an opportunity out of nothing, and that's all you need. International football is about results. Nobody remembers how you played, they remember what you achieved. Sure, there are teams that can still play nice football like winning, like Spain and Argentina, and France will have moments like that. We've seen it in the friendlies, we've seen it in the qualifiers, and we even saw it in previous World Cups. I'm just saying that Deschamps shouldn't be judged because at times France were too conservative. He knows what he's doing, and this is his last season in charge anyways. I say last season, I mean last major tournament because obviously he's an international manager. Now, unfortunately, this time, despite the amount of talent that Deschamps has, the one guy he doesn't have anymore is Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann has been the heartbeat of this national team. Ever since Euro 2016, he's the guy that made Deschamps' system click. He was the guy that everything went through.
127 caps, third on the list. He beat the record of the guy that had the most assists in the national team. But when you play in a team with Kylian Mbappé, he's going to grab the headlines. But nevertheless, in the game, everyone knows how important he is for France or for Atletico.
Yes, Mbappé stole the headlines, he was the mega superstar, and he deserved it. But Antoine Griezmann was the heartbeat of this team. The way he linked the defense to the attack, how he played in between the lines, the way that he combined technical excellence with an unlimited work rate, you will not see that replicated again. He was so good in that number 10 role, playing off of Olivier Giroud, finding Mbappé in the pockets, just an unbelievably world-class player. And you have to have a lot of respect for him because he came at a time where the French national team didn't have a golden generation. After Zidane retired, they did not look look good in international tournaments. And it wasn't until Euro 2016 where Griezmann started to play really well, Pogba came through the ranks, Kanté, that the French national team returned back to the elite levels. But now Griezmann won't be there. Like, France don't make the Euro 2016 final without him. They certainly don't win the 2018 World Cup without him. And yes, he wasn't great in the 2022 World Cup final, but again, they don't reach that final without Antoine Griezmann. Yes, Mbappé got the goals. Yes, he was fantastic, but everybody knows that Griezmann was the glue of that team. Now, like I said, while Griezmann is not there anymore, we are looking at another golden generation of French players, and they're all being led by Kylian Mbappé. Mbappé is still the face of French football. In fact, you can make the argument that he's the face of football entirely. One of the best players in the world, many would argue, in fact, the very best when you look at his numbers. Even on an inconsistent Real Madrid team, even during a couple of years where people felt like he wasn't playing good, his numbers were ridiculous. And don't forget, when this guy puts on the French national team jersey, I swear to God, he turns into a top 5 player ever.
Kylian's playing up front. He really can make something happen by himself, and that's why I love him so much, no matter what position he's in. That's why, for me, he's the best in the world. Kiki.
Like, if you only look at international football, Mbappe's legacy and resume with France is ridiculous. And he's gonna be leading the line again.
Je te ce qu'on a fait. On retourne sur le terrain, soit on les laisse jouer au con, soit on y va, on met un peu d'intensité, et on rentre dans les duels, et on fait autre chose déjà. C'est une finale de Coupe du Monde. Ce qui se fait. Ils ont mis 2 buts, on a mené 2 buts. Ah, on peut revenir, hein. Ah, les gars, c'est tous les 4 ans, un truc comme ça. Maintenant, les gars, c'est fait!
Now, I'm interested to see how this French national team plays now that Mbappé is going to be the main pivotal guy up front. Because as we saw in the 2018 World Cup, the 2020 Euros, and the 2022 World Cup, Mbappé was playing off the left. We got a glimpse of it at the 2024 Euros, but it wasn't the best tournament from Mbappé. Now, there were a lot of factors. Number one, the guy did break his nose, so he was playing with a mask. And number two, he's never really been that great at the Euros. It's the weirdest thing. He's like an unbelievable player, GOAT level player at the World Cup. For some reason at the Euros, he never really performs at that highest level. But now he's going to be the main focal point up front again, and we saw against Brazil what he can do.
Bountiful little flick. It just comes so naturally. I think he's passing the fitness test.
He's still the fastest guy out there. He's still so lethal in front of goal. And he just got so much support in behind him. So many players that can create opportunities for him. So I'm excited to see what he can do, because on paper, he should be setting records at this World Cup, especially with more teams and an extra game. When it's all said and done, Mbappé might be the highest goal scorer ever at the World Cup. Because even after this one, I can almost bet that he's probably going to play in the one 4 years from now too. And every time he's been at the World Cup, he's just performed. And I don't see why this season would be any different. Especially when you look at his domestic form. In the seasons before the World Cup, he always turns it up a notch. Mentally and physically, he's getting prepared for that summer. We saw the same thing in the season approaching the 2022 World Cup, even though that one was in December. He was having a great season before that tournament started. And this time it's been no different. Unfortunately, he had a bit of an injury, so he was recovering from that. But before his injury, my God, the numbers he was putting up for Real Madrid, the type of goals he was scoring, insane. Now, if Mbappé wasn't enough, you also have the 2025 Ballon d'Or winner, Ousmane Dembélé.
Hostia, Ousmane Dembélé, para, está grabado algo. Le Ballon d'Or!
Now, I'm very curious to see how Dembélé will play for the national team, because he's played his best football for PSG as this false 9 in Luis Enrique's system. Now, of course, PSG's front three is very fluid. All of these guys are rotating. And as I will get later in the video, the entire front three of Barcola, Doué, and Dembélé, they're all on this French national team. But anyways, Dembélé's played the best football of his career more centrally. But for the national team, he's going to be playing on the right wing. Now, of course, that shouldn't be an issue for him since he basically started his career as a right winger. Because he was two-footed, they would rotate him around a lot, but he's always been a winger. That only recently changed under Luis Enrique in the past season. Past 2 seasons, actually. Ever since Mbappé left, that's what Dembélé started to do. But Deschamps' system is not that free-flowing, so he's gonna have to play on the right wing and kind of stick there. But again, this is another monster to have next to Kylian Mbappé. It's another player that can create and score by himself. I mean, we just saw him lead a team to the Champions League, to Ligue 1. As much as I wanted to see someone like Lamine Yamal or Rafinha win the Ballon d'Or, you can't say that him winning it was undeserved, because not only did he get some great goals and assists, the context of when he got his goals and assists matter a lot. He really showed up in the big games, in the business end of the Champions League.
Yo le daría el Balón de Oro solo por cómo ha defendido en esta final al señor Ousmane Dembélé. Eso es liderar un equipo desde la humildad, eso es liderar un equipo desde el liderazgo, y creo sinceramente que se merece el Balón de Oro sin ninguna duda. no solo por los títulos conseguidos, no solo por los goles, sino por cómo ha presionado, lo ha hecho toda la temporada, pero excepcionalmente.
So that's another player that France have that can show up on the biggest stage in those most important games. Like on so many other national teams, Ousmane Dembélé would be their best player. And on this team, you could argue that he's not even number 2, because the other guy you have to look out for is Olise. Now he's basically Griezmann's replacement in that number 10 role. And it's interesting because from a attacking output, he can definitely replicate Griezmann's numbers.
Bundesliga, Champions League, and World Cup, Ballon d'Or, it's all there for you, sir.
He has that same magical left foot. He's able to create, he's able to score. I mean, I'm pretty sure he leads all the players in the top 5 leagues in assists.
Michael Olise. I mean, this guy is just extraordinary. You know what's so difficult? Because when he pushes as a defender, you can't get.
He's been incredible for Bayern, playing off that right wing, coming into the right half spaces, creating chances for Luis Diaz and Harry Kane. Now it's not going to be any different. He's going to create the same opportunities, but it's going to be to Dembélé, to Kylian Mbappé, to Hugo Ekitike, who I'm going to get to later in the video. The only problem with Olise is he's never going to be able to replicate Griezmann's work rate and off-the-ball movement when France didn't have the ball. Again, as I stated earlier, what made Griezmann so good is that he was technically excellent, so good on the ball, but he was willing to do the dirty work. He was a number 10, but at times he was more like a box-to-box central midfielder. Olise is not going to do that, but he's equally magical going forward. I think the thing I love most about him is that not only is he just an aura farmer and he loves to play the nonchalant gimmick on the ball, so it looks like he's always gliding past players and not even breaking a sweat, but he's a very selfless player. And that's really good because the 3 guys in front of him, in Mbappé, Ekitike, Dembélé, these guys want to score goals. So it's good to have a profile like Olise that's going to feed these guys. Those guys can make the runs in behind, they can be more direct, and Olise is just going to be giving them through balls, playing the assist before the assist. He's going to be really good in that number 10 role, and from what I've seen, Deschamps wants the attacks to go through Olise because he has that high footballing IQ and he's got so much creativity. And like Dembélé and Mbappé, it's another player that's going to be going into the World Cup in incredible form. Then you have Hugo Ekitike. And Hugo Ekitike, in my opinion, is a superstar in the making. Everything about the way this guy plays, he has the utmost confidence in his abilities. And why wouldn't he? He's one of the few Liverpool players that can leave this season with his head held up high. Now again, it's going to be interesting to see what Ekitike does because he's been playing up front for Liverpool, but for the national team, I think he's going to be playing on the left wing. Now we can see him and Mbappe probably rotate a lot because again, both of them are really good in that left half space. Mbappe can play on the left as a winger, that's where he used to play, and Ekitike can play up front. So maybe we'll see a lot of rotation between the two of them. But Ekitike can be a very good player in that left wing spot. He's got the pace, the dribbling. He can finish when he has to. I mean, we all saw that chip against Brazil. He's a really good player. And again, for a lot of national teams, he would be their best player. But on this French national team, there's so many other guys that are going to be creating for him. So all he has to do is get him behind, create those moments of magic that we have seen him do at Liverpool. Except now he has even more support than he does at the club level. As if that wasn't enough firepower, Deschamps can bring on Cherki, Desiree Doué, Barcola, and even Thuram from the bench. Now Doué, I mean, this guy is basically a big game merchant. I say that with humor because there's this argument on Twitter and whenever people are comparing players that some guys are small game merchants. You know, people were saying that about Mbappe, that his numbers in the Champions League look great, but then you look deep in the numbers and he was scoring against Kirat and Olympiacos. Well, Doué is the opposite. You might tune into a random Ligue 1 game and he's putting up a stinker, missing a lot of easy chances. But then in a big Champions League game, he's going to perform. He's so young, but we've already seen him in the biggest moments. I mean, he was fantastic in the Champions League final against Inter. He's another player that can create and score on his own. Another player that's two-footed with flair, can beat his man.
He's only 19 years old. It's crazy. When you see him physically, he's very, very strong. He's fast with technique. It's crazy. I think we got very lucky that we have him in the team because he can do everything.
And I think that's what makes this French team so good, is that all the players, despite having different profiles, are so fluid. Like Ousmane Dembélé can play up front, but he can play on the right, but he can also play on the left. Ekitike can play on the left, but he can play up front. Cherki, who I'm going to get to later, can play in the number 10 role or on the right. The same thing for Olise. So there's a lot of mix and matching that Deschamps can do depending on the opposition, depending on what the game needs. And again, that brings me to Cherki, a wonderful player. Maybe Cherki even starts, who knows? But this guy, the quality he has, I mean, it's on another level.
With Ryan, I have that feeling for the day one. The moments I shout him and the moments I want to kiss him.
We saw what he did against Spain in the Nations League despite France losing. We've seen what he can do at Manchester City. Another player who's two-footed. What are they feeding these French guys? Is it something in their food? Is it something in the croissants and the baguettes? All of these guys are two-footed. You got Doué who's two-footed, Cherki who's two-footed, Ousmane Dembélé who's two-footed.
Vous êtes droitier ou gaucher? Gaucher. Sûr, parce que vous marquez aussi de loin.
Ouais, je suis plus gaucher.
Et les pénaltys, vous les tirez pas du droit?
Si.
Pourquoi?
Parce que je tire mieux du droit.
I guess Olise balances them out because he's so reliant on his left foot, but I don't know what these guys are being fed in the French academies when they're coming through the ranks. But again, Cherki is a wonderful player. He can play in that number 10 role as a backup to Olise. He can play on the right and cut it onto his left foot, even though again, this guy can play with either foot. And then you have Bradley Barcola, another elite winger that can beat his man, has pace. The only issue with Barcola is his finishing can be inconsistent, but again, if you're bringing a player of that caliber off the bench against tired legs, he's going to destroy the fullback. So this French team, they have everybody. They have dribblers, they have creators. I don't really talk about Thuram that much because he's been having a poor domestic form at Inter. But again, this is another profile that you can throw up front and he's just going to bully center backs. Like Mbappé will outpace you, Thuram will come in and bully you. And as I was stating earlier, that's what makes this French national team so scary, is that they have a lot of different players, a lot of different profiles. They have so many ways to hurt you. And I mean, we already saw it in the friendlies. Their B team came out and slapped Colombia. We saw what Dembélé, Mbappé, Olise, and Ekitike can do to teams against Brazil. Like you have the first goal, it starts from Tchouaméni winning the ball back, ball into Dembélé, quick through ball to Mbappé, and boom, goal. Second goal, you have Olise, picks it up, drives forward, selfless pass to Hugo Ekitike, lovely chip. Then go and watch the Colombia game. Look at what Doué was doing to guys. That's the real problem for everybody else. This is not a national team with 1 or 2 stars. They have so many quality players. They have guys that can come off the bench that would carry certain international teams. It's wave after wave. Now again, this doesn't mean that they're going to win the whole tournament. A lot of times the most talented team doesn't necessarily lift the trophy when it's all said and done. But it's hard not to be afraid of these guys because they just have so much attacking firepower, but it's not like the rest of their team is unbalanced either. They have a good goalie, they have a good back line, they have some very good midfielders. So it's not a top heavy team, although of course the attack is sexier, they're going to get the headlines, they're going to get the most discussions. But their team is well rounded. But history has shown us that the success of the French national team is based on their superstars. Whether it was Platini, Zinedine Zidane, Thierry Henry, or now the Mbappé era, the French national team has always been at their best when their superstar plays at the highest level. Mbappé is now the face of that new generation. Before, he was the young guy, the young up-and-coming star. Now he's an established superstar leading the new generation. Now if Mbappé wins another World Cup, it will be legacy changing. There will be some uncomfortable conversations about players that he will surpass. To see what would happen if Mbappé won the World Cup again, you have to watch this video right here.